Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many things happening right now on the earth, and whenever there are many things happening, calamities, troubles, and perils, and earthquakes, and early storms causing many to die, and so many troubles happening, then a servant of God must pay attention to priority. Whenever there's a lot of trouble, a lot of distress, God is always in the process of releasing a mantle. So I want to talk today about the mantle of an apostle. I can't see a lot, yeah. But the mantle of the apostle is being released right now. And the mantle of, a mantle represents the power of attorney from God. And it actually completes the mandate of that man of God or that man or that woman of God. And it's whenever you see trouble all over the earth, it's always wise for the young people in ministry to set themselves to receive from the great men of God, the apostles, the bishops, the pastors, the great leaders. And during that time, that mantle is falling. And remember, a mantle does not only fall when a leader dies, but a mantle is released also when a leader is sort of in some sort of distress or need, you know, suddenly help. And that's what happened with Elijah when Elijah released the mantle upon Elisha first. He saw him, doing some. I think he was with some cattle, and he released his mantle upon Elisha, and Elisha followed him, was faithful, was very reliable. He ministered unto him, and when Elijah was departing, Elijah released this mantle. So in the midst of all this crisis, in the midst of all these troubles, a lot of stuff happening. California fires, 66 dead and over 600 unaccounted for. Over 11,000 buildings burned to the ground. Trouble. You have the Indonesia earthquake recently, and over 5,000 dead. Then you have the Haiti earthquake recently, many dead. And Ebola has struck Congo, 200 dead, and a lot of troubles, massacres happening in that synagogue, another massacre in California. This is the ninth hour. This is the end of the end times. This is the last part of the last days. And we could say a lot about that, but what I want to pay attention to is the release of the mantle, the young people in ministry. You want to, at this time, set yourself like Elisha set himself, to minister and to be ready and to be reliable and to be in prayer and fasting and to be in ministry, for to receive the mantle that is being released upon the earth. And, the Bible said that David was a great man of war, but he released his mantle upon Solomon, who built the temple. Moses was a great prophet, but it was Joshua who led the people into Canaan. Then you have the Elijah story, etc., etc. So we want to encourage you, brothers and sisters, ministers particularly or mainly, get ready. Get ready to receive the mantle of revival. Get ready to receive the mantle of world revival. Get ready to receive the mantle for winning the world for Jesus. This mantle, when it's released, it will be reliable. It will be revelatory. It will be revolutionary. It will be renewable. It will be representative. And it will be released. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it's being released right now. God is a God of order. God is a God of equilibrium. And whenever you see a lot of bad things happening, get ready for the mantle. Receive it wherever you are across the world. God has given us a special revelation of Worldwide Vision Day, where every church across the world, in every country, in every continent, are being mobilized to go out and preach and witness on the first Saturday of every quarter. This mantle is being released, and God has promised to raise up 1.5 million visionaries from those who will answer this call of the harvesters. It is now time for we have heard of the acts of the apostles. It is now time for the acts of the harvesters. And in the midst of this acts of the harvesters will be the acts of the prophets. For God says, in the last days I'll pour of my spirit upon all flesh, and sons and daughters would prophesy. I could say a lot. I could get very detailed. I could get very theological. But I just want to make sure that those of you out there who have been faithful or choose to be faithful, if you have not been very faithful, catch up yourself, get back, make sure your church, your minister, your leader can rely on you to be there for the gospel's sake. And as I talked earlier about the Worldwide Vision Day, get to know more about it. God has released this catalyst for world revival where every believer is a preacher, and you rise up and win the lost at any cost. I want to thank you, but get ready for the mantle. Get ready for the mantle. And those of you who are watching right now, receive the mantle. Receive the mantle for world revival. Receive the mantle for world revival in the midst of all the crisis. Don't get perturbed by the crisis. Don't get perturbed by the perils and the massacres and the earthquakes. No, this is the time to receive the mantle for world revival. Receive it, men, women, boys, girls, black, white, of all cultures and races. Receive the mantle for world revival. Go forth and win the world for Jesus. Amen and amen.